Hello. So just yesterday, I found this feature on Magic Arena. I don't know how long has it been there. I haven't been paying attention that long. Um, but so yeah, this set collection feature here, and part of me found this very nice. Like it's a good thing that the program has this feature. I like it very much as an idea, but the implementation sucks. Like, and that's the reason why I wanted to talk about this. So, what is this? If you haven't found this, like again, like I only found this yesterday, and I don't know how long this has been around. But let's look at a random set. Okay, not a random set actually. Let's look at a set I know I have a complete collection of. That would be Throne of Eldraine. Okay, so this tells me that I have collected 103 out of 107 common cards at least one of. Okay, well, again, I know that I have the full set of Throne of Eldraine, but then I realized that it's not just counting the main set. If I go to my collection and since I draft quite a bit, and since Throne of Eldraine is available currently, I know that whenever I draft, I get a bunch of gems, which means that I already have the whole set. And as you can see, I have 4 of pretty much everything except Garrison Griffin. Okay, what is this? So I assume this is from a starter deck or something. I assume. Um, there was also Brawl decks released around this time, so it's possible that it's from the Brawl decks. Same with Maze of the Valiant. I sort of have an sort of think I've seen this at some point somewhere, but again, I have no idea. This seems like whenever creatures battle under control, put a charge on them. Okay, so this is not like great, but okay. So this might be from the Brawl decks. Probably not from the cards from the starter decks are generally quite bad. So it's probably not from those. And if we go further, okay, I have 2 Kenriths. Kenrith was a box stopper. So okay, I'm missing that. So let's test what happens if let's only look at the commons. How many wildcards do I have? Enough. So let's buy these. What else am I missing in commons? There. These are named after Oko. It might very well be that they're from a starter deck or something. Or Planeswalker deck. Oh yeah, those are there as well. Planeswalker decks. Windscard Crack. How many of these do I have? I don't know. Many. Because these have been in various sets previously. Okay. Command Tower. Yeah, okay, let's craft that as well. No actual need to have more than one, but for testing purposes, neither do I have any kind of a need to have more than one Arcane Signet either, but for the sake of testing this out, let's just see what happens. Okay, Throne. Okay, so now it shows that I have commons completed, but it doesn't show it here. Why not? And also, I already had most of the commons available to me, but it didn't show them as having 4-offs. It only showed them as having one of its uncommon card. So this is just weird to me. This is just so bad user interface. Like it's clear that they know that they can do this. They know that they can have these on top of each other. Like they can have the blue on bottom and then the gold one on top of it. Well, like, and then there's the orange one if it's completed. So if they know this, why don't they do it for every, like if you have, let's say, let's take some set here. Okay, I have most of Ikoria. Ixalan I have pretty bad. Okay, Ixalan I have 83 of them, at least one of. So why isn't it showing here how many 4-offs do I have? And okay, so I guess if you don't think it through or you're kind of a moron, you would think that okay, so what if the gold goes beyond the blue? Well, that would be impossible because you can't have a 4-off without having a 1-off. So I don't know why are they not doing that? Like this just seems like so bad. If they, and like the idea of this feature is nice. The idea of this feature is actually something that I would really have liked to have sooner. Like I can see how far I'm with each of these sets, but then again, because no one thought this through, it doesn't actually tell me anything. Like the difference between Alchemy Horizons and Dominaria United is actually immense because I didn't draft this much at all. But I still have, like, according to this, I have 74% of it. And obviously it doesn't like balance out the fact that, or it would seem to me that it doesn't balance out the fact that it's much harder to get the rares and the mythics than the commons and the uncommons. So, well, this makes it seem like I'm pretty far with the alchemy. What is it called? Baldur's Gate. But let's see if I really look at it. Okay, I have one of, none, none. I do have both of these cards, quite a few copies of both of these cards, but from the other set, again, that's more city things they do. Why do I have 4 of these? But anyway, as you can see, it doesn't seem like I'm 74% done with this set, because there's 4-offs here and there, 1-offs here and there, many cards that I own none of. So I'm like basically started with this set. But again, if you look at this, it seems that okay, I'm 3/4 of it done. And okay, compared to, let's take some set again, like Eldraine. I'm 92% done with Eldraine according to this. And that's just because, again, there's a bunch of starter decks and Planewalker cards and Brawl cards and Foxstopper and whatever that I just don't have. I guess let's get all the uncommons as well, just to test it out. Eldraine, where is it? There. Not collected, uncommons. So I'm missing 8 uncommons. What's wrong? Okay, no. Why do I have that if I don't have any other skins available? Anyway, okay. Again, set collection, Throne of Eldraine. Now I'm full here and here. So why isn't this showing how far I'm with the 4-offs? because the reality is that actually I have pretty much all of these as well, like the rares and the mythics. If we look at the rares and the mythics only from Throne of Eldraine, whoops, wrong one. Rares and mythics only. You can see that, okay, yeah, I'm missing the Maze of the Valiant, I'm missing Kenrith, I'm missing Silverwing Squadron, I'm missing Fairy Formation. Well, I don't have any of this. I could swear I've played this at some point, but maybe it's Shimmer Dragon. I'm pretty sure I played this at some point as well. Isn't this in the main set? Apparently not. Works of Elders. Whatever. Chittering Witch. Taste of Death. Emperor Skyblazer. Roman. Okay, so this is a Planeswalker deck card. Roman Stalwarts. Steelbane Hydra. Knight's Charge. Gluttonous Troll. Oko's Hospitality. Oko. Alila. Corvold. Tulane. Turquin. Tome of Legends. So yeah, you can see that these are all again all Planeswalker Dex cards and Brawl cards, and Kenrith is a box stopper. So yeah, like I'm missing these. And based on how they value the rares, like it's, well, yeah. So again, why is it not showing me here? My progress is 93. I own every card in the main set. So why is this not showing me that? And why isn't this showing me the yellow here as well as the blue? Like, it's just so bad. Like, this is the simplest thing. Like, this is a nice idea for a feature, but because they couldn't implement this simplest thing, this is just meaningless. This is just useless. Apparently Zendikar Rising didn't have any of this additional shit because, well, that's well, because that's fully, I have that full set of that, and I'm only missing few cards here and there on some other sets. I don't know, like it just seems to me that they just don't pay attention. Like, especially since they are now pushing these things, they're not pushing the whales, everything for whales. Like, this product isn't for you. This is a product for someone who can spend $1,000 on proxies. So if that's the, like, if that's the goal, shouldn't this be like your priority? Shouldn't this be the thing that, because the whales are the ones who are interested in specifically in collecting, shouldn't you make these things especially good for them? Now, I don't consider myself a whale anymore. I used to be a whale, definitely, but now not so much, simply because I just don't give a shit anymore. Like, I used to buy I used to draft like twice a week and whatever, and that meant like, even though I basically never bought boxes of cards, that would mean that like in some sets I bought up to like 5 boxes of just, individual drafting and so forth. So yes, I used to spend a lot of money on the game, but because first they are selling their product to whales, but they're not actually respectful of the whales, and this is just indication of that. They just don't actually think this through. But yeah, I don't know. Like, they've actually put time and money on this. There's so many things that they should be doing that they haven't done, like duplicate protection. They promised the duplicate protection ages ago, and they haven't done anything about that. Well, probably behind the scenes they've done something, but the whole architecture is so bad. And I haven't seen the architecture of the software, but we know based on the fact that some swamps didn't work when Kamigawa Neon Dynasty came out. So that means that they don't have like a swamp, and that swamp has different arts to it, but instead they have just a bunch of different swamps in the system, and that's a horrible way of doing it. That's like this whole thing should have been scrapped ages ago. Like they should have an actual, someone, a software architect that can actually do this shit, who can actually plan this out, so they don't have to mess everything up. But they haven't done that. But instead, they have people who are clearly have no understanding of user interfaces, have clearly no understanding of what's going on here. Why would this be? Why is this feature even important to someone? So clearly, they have no fucking understanding of that. And as you can hear, I'm like losing my shit when I'm talking about this. It's just like this was supposed to be their flagship. There was a time when they were pushing this instead of paper, and understandably, the paper is still making a lot more money than Arena, even though apparently they are backsliding in their profits. They have been backsliding in their profits, like in the last quarter. They promised that the next quarter will be better. Well, yeah, well, this quarter, because this quarter has Christmas and you're making a game. So funny that, like, people buy stuff like this for Christmas. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Who could have predicted that? But anyway, I guess my rant is sort of over. But again, the point is that, like, how can you make this? How can you make this so bad? Like this is the simplest thing. Just, but they just fail to do it. I bet the system, whatever they're using, Unity, I think, I bet it already has everything that they need to do this correctly, but none of them just bother to check it out. No, they don't have like, clearly they don't have like, okay, so WotC obviously has a bunch of people who play the game, but clearly none of them is actually paying attention, and yet they should have like some person who actually advocates for the user, who actually advocates for the player, and not only one, because they have several kinds of players. Like Maro keeps using it as an excuse that most of the players, like 3/4 of the players, don't pay attention to anything. So that's an excuse that they can do anything they want, because yeah, we don't understand about these players who are just playing on their kitchen tables and doing, and well, playing whatever, and they claim to understand them, even though they have no idea about those players either. And on the other hand, like, I am the one spending money on this game. Well, not actually that much anymore, because it just feels that they have no respect for the players. So why should I bother? Like they've already given us permission to use proxies outside of tournaments, obviously. But if they're printing proxies are fine. So use them. Use, like, if someone at your home, at your kitchen table, tells you that no, you shouldn't use proxies, tell them that, okay, if Wizards is printing proxies, I can use them, period. And I'm not talking about the official proxies in quotation marks, heavy quotation marks. I'm talking about, don't use fakes, but go to MTG Goldfish has a feature you can use just to print out proxies. Obviously, you need a printer for them, but hey, try it out, play with those. My personal rule for that is that I still like, if I'm playing Commander, I'm still not going to play certain cards, and I'm not going to print anything out. I'm not going to use proxies that my friends, the people I'm playing with, wouldn't own or wouldn't play in their decks. I'm not going to do that. For power level reasons, they wouldn't play, or like cost prohibit reasons. But yeah, this has gone way too long. But so yes, the basic message again is that this feature is good. It's good that they have this feature. They just could have taken one little step, and this would actually be great. Now it's just kind of bullshit. Now it doesn't give you any real information. Like, again, I own most of these sets, but it doesn't show it here. Like, apparently I'm missing a bunch of uncommons that are probably kind of bad because I haven't bought them with wildcards. So yeah. So there's 9 different uncommon cards I don't have like whole like even one copy of. And it like, and since because they are so bad. Actually, let's try this out as well. Sorry, I was going to stop this, but apparently not. So what was it? Kaldheim. And let's check the not collected only. And they were all well, we don't need that if they're all uncommons. Okay, so let's craft one of these. And this is also, well, you can do this faster. So if you draft a lot, I don't know if you know about this, but if you draft a lot, you want the gems. So one way of getting the gems is getting wildcards, and when you have wildcards, you can buy all of the mythics and rares of the set. And when you get mythics and rares of the set, you can obviously, well, and if you pick those, or you open packs that have those outside of the drafting, obviously, then you get the gems, 20 gems out of each rare and 40 gems out of each mythic. So, but when you pick commons and uncommons, you already have full sets of. It gives you progression it gives you vault progression, so you get more of the wild cards, and that's helpful for your if you want to maximize drafting without actually having to pay. Which was a set we were looking at? Kaldheim. Okay, so it shows here that I have collected 4 of all uncommon cards. Well, and I'm again missing like the 7. Was it 7? Wasn't it 9? Did I count that wrong? Not sure. But anyway, so yeah. No, what I'm saying, I'm missing 27, so 9 times 3. Yes. Yeah, that was right. So sorry. But yeah, I would just like this to be. So I would like Magic to be good. Like, it's been around in my life since I started playing around Dark, which was 93 or 94. It was like a week before Dark came out or something like that. Not quite sure. Obviously, well, things were quite kind of differently back then. But anyway, so a long time ago, and yeah, like in my view, games are important. Not necessarily a specific game, but games in themselves, because games teach us so much about everything. Like um, like when I play Magic, if you want to think about it, like what can you learn by playing Magic? You can learn uh, well, basic maths. Well, not basic math, but well, basic maths as well, but higher maths. Like kids, obviously basic math, like losing part of your life total or whatever. But higher math, higher maths, like uh, hypergeometric calculations. Like what are your chances of drawing a specific card in a specific amount of turns and stuff like that. That's that's like that's something that can be very helpful. But like more importantly, games, like when I play against someone, I try to obviously you should try to put them put yourself in their place. What are they going to do if they play in a certain way? Does it tell you something about what they are thinking about? Are they trying to keep the mana open for like a counter spell or a combat trick or whatever? So it's trying to understand your opponent, and this can be very important. Like okay, like negotiations, for example. What does the person you're negotiating with, what do they want? What do they need? Uh, can you come to some agreement which is beneficial to both of you? You should, obviously. But anyway, so yeah, games are important. They're also important for like mental health, and there's some studies about how games can help in like in like understanding other people. I think there's a study from Singapore. Um, I think it was from Singapore about these how different generations were having problems understanding each other. So these researchers tested this out by having people of different generations sit down and play games with each other. And it like well there was a difference between having these two people just sit and talk to each other and sit and play games with each other. Like when they were sitting and talking with each other, like they learned to understand that specific person better. But when they were playing games against people from other generations, they grew to understand the whole generation better. So it was helpful for these people to because there was a problem with with the youngsters not understanding the old people, and vice versa, obviously. So you could, just by having them play games, even simple games where they had to put themselves into they needed to see the whole thing from the perspective of their opponent. So it helped them understand like the whole class of people differently, a whole huge group of people very differently, and that's helpful. That's the magic of games. Pun not intended, but anyway. So um, yeah, games are important. Games are something that we actually need in our lives, uh, and yet games are moving from being an art form to being a science. So they're not interested in actually making a good game anymore. They're interested in extracting as much money as possible from the game, and that's, to me, seems very short-sighted. Like there's so many games out there. Like I don't know, Vampire Survivors, kind of a stupid game, but kind of a fun game, and it cost like under €3 when I bought it, if I remember correctly. Something ridiculously small, and like I played it for like 20 hours or something. So how much Magic game play do I get for like €3? I can't get one draft in for that. One draft is like 750 in on Magic Arena, double that in paper. So yeah, um, Like games could be a huge tool for humankind, but companies like Wizards are just messing that up. They're just destroying that whole thing. Obviously, Wizards is not the only company doing this. You can add Bethesda and whatever, Activision, Blizzard, whatever, EA. Basically, name a company, and they're doing it. But okay, rant over. Hopefully, yeah. I just hate when they can't get simple things because they just don't understand the user. They can't get the simplest of things correctly. And that's just an indication that they don't actually even try to put themselves into the shoes of the user or the player. But okay, yeah. Thanks for listening. If even one of you made it this far. I don't know if I'm going to record. I don't have any plans of recording anything in the near future, but we'll see if I have any other things I want to grumble about.